Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop. Fresh back from our holiday. Today is Thursday, just got back from holiday yesterday, Wednesday. Only had 2 or 3 days down on the south coast of Thailand. Stayed at a little nice place literally on the beach. Our room looked out onto the beach like 20 yards away, so very peaceful and relaxing. Really needed the break, and so yeah, here we are back to normal, whatever that is. And today on my electric baritone ukulele, we've got a tiny little fix to do. So what's happening, the output jack, it keeps coming loose. Now the problem is, if I can find it, there we go. It should have this washer and nut on the outside there, on the thread there, to hold it in place. But what's happened is the screws that are in there that hold this into the body, I'm not sure how well you're going to see this, but the screws have a domed top. Yeah, you can't really see it, but the top is domed. So with the screws in there, because they have a domed top, they kind of stick out a bit, which doesn't leave me enough room to get the washer and the nut on there. I thought it would be okay, but it's not. It keeps coming loose. So the simple solution is to swap out the original dome top screws with a couple of flat top screws. So I found some that are more or less the same length and the same shaft. And as I said, these have a flat top head as opposed to the domed head, but the head is slightly wider. So that may not be the solution. But I'm going to try that first. That's the easy fix. Always try the easy fix first. And if that doesn't work, I have got a couple of spare screws with the hardware. And what I can do is grind the top off, grind it flat. With these spare screws and put those in. So let's see if the simple fix will work first. So let me just angle the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so first things first, I've got to take the screws out from the output jack. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that the simple fix is probably not going to work because the heads of the screws are wider, and I think it will just basically cause the same problem. But we'll have a look, and if they do fit and work and do the job, happy days. Okay, so that's the 2 screws out. Okay, so the whole jack output has come out. So I'll just unscrew that off of the output jack first, so the surround, and I will try one of these flathead screws in there to see if it sits flush. And so it looks as though the shaft is slightly wider because I'm having to thread it through. Okay, you're not going to be able to see that, but it's actually sitting a bit lower than I thought it would. So I think the way to test it is to screw that back onto the output jack first, and then see if I can get the nut and the washer on there with those screws in place. So washer first. It's not looking good. don't think that's going to work. That's a shame. Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to work, but to be honest, that washer is a bit big. Let's try it without the screws, just the washer and then the nut. Yeah, so it will go on there if the screws that are in there sit more flush. So I've got to go to option 2 to take 2 of the original screws and grind the heads flat. Okay, so I need to go over to my bench grinder for that. So I'll just pause the video here, get set up over at the bench grinder, and I'll bring you straight back in 1 second. Okay, so here we are at the bench grinder. So I'm going to just attempt to flatten these screws off. Now, it doesn't really matter what orientation I flatten them off because it's a Phillips head screw, so it's not going to make much difference. And although obviously the wheel is round, so when I grind that, it will put a very slight concave in there, which is ideal actually, it's even better. But it's going to be so minimal that you won't even see it. So let's see how well this goes. Noise alert as I switch on. Oh, it's getting warm. Okay, that's one. So let's do the other one. Okay, so that's both of the heads ground flat. So let's go back over to the workbench and see if that solves the problem. Okay, so back at the workbench, they look as though they're flat enough. So we'll do the same test again. Just put them into the holes and see if the washer and nut will go on now. I have a feeling it's going to work. Okay, that works. So let's first of all just take the screws back out. So first I just want to make sure that this collar is nice and tight on the output jack. which it seems to be. Then screw it back into the body. Just line the screws up. Right, where's that hole? See it? Okay. Bit fiddly. Right, in goes the first screw. Just put that one in loosely and get the other one in place before I tighten them up. Okay, right, so I tighten them both up now. Okay, nice and tight. Right, so that's that all back screwed back in place with those nice flat head screws. Put the washer on, then the nut on top. Right, now it's the access to get in there to tighten it up is quite limited, so I'm just going to take a minute off camera to find the best way to tighten that nut up. So I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so I had a look first at just putting a socket on there, but the hex inside this socket is slightly countersunk and that doesn't quite reach it. So I've just gone to an ordinary spanner and it's 12mm. So the only way I can do it is to put it on the end like that. I mean, these don't have to be very tight anyway. If you go too tight, you'll just break it. So I'll just nip it up with that spanner. Okay. So that should be good. All tightened up. And hopefully now that won't come loose again. So that is that little problem hopefully solved. Time will tell. If it does come loose again, which I suspect there may be a chance it will do, I'll take it apart again and I'll put something on the thread, some kind of Loctite on the thread, just to hold it in place. I don't want to glue it in place because I want it to be removable if necessary. But just perhaps put a little Loctite on the thread or something to stop it from coming loose again. But it should be okay. So that's that little project finished. Wasn't too difficult. Took me 10 minutes. And yeah. So as I said, if it does come loose again, I'll stick a bit of Loctite on it. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be fine. And that's another little problem solved. So ready to go. Okay, so really hope you're enjoying watching these videos, and if you are, please give a thumbs up and a comment. Share the video would be nice, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and if you can, try and get friends, colleagues, relatives to do the same. Trying to get me figures up, the algorithms, and every little helps. So in the meantime, the rest of you all take care. Peace out.